Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation. And that is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. Okay? And this is from the website Tallahassee.com. And the headline reads, as you can see, social media banned for kids. First responders harassment. These laws go into effect January 1st, which is assumably 2025, which is just a few weeks away because it's December the 25th this morning, today. All right. And it looks like 2025 is going to be a very stringent year on laws being passed, okay? And we praying that they just go ahead and, shut down the internet, bring in martial law and get the chip implemented, okay? Because you got new laws that go into effect as opposed to flying domestic. You're going to have, that new ID, okay? So 2025 is looking like they're going to be enforcing these stringent laws, okay? And we're going to get that in Revelation 13. So this is social media banned for kids, first responders, harassment. These laws going into effect January 1st. Okay, now as we read a little bit about this article, it says a lot of new laws have gone into effect in Florida this year. Nearly 180 of them in July and 34 more in October. As of the first of the year, just 9 more bills will become state law, but some of them make some sweeping and controversial changes. Okay? So we go on to read. Here is what's going into effect as of Wednesday, January 1st, 2025. Okay, which is a couple of weeks from now. It says House Bill 3, online protections for minors. As of Jan 1, no one in Florida under the age of 14 will be allowed to have a social media account. This controversial bill replaced one that Governor Ron DeSantis voted or vetoed because he wanted parents to have more of a role, right? And still, how are you going to verify whether or not the person that is using the social media site is 14 or not, okay? Because when you sign up for these social media sites, they don't ask you for a surefire way to verify your age. They just ask you your birthday and your year, okay? And then you could tell them anything, and they're going to allow you to access that site, okay? There's no real verification, all right? Unless they're going to ask for a social security number or something to that magnitude or to that extent, all right? Which is why these laws are starting to narrow down and become more and more stringent, man, because we see what time they get ready to, direct this society into, man, okay? And it's going to be a lot of uproar when they get ready to bring forth that ultimate goal, okay? So it says social media platforms will be required to terminate any accounts suspected of belonging to someone under 14, right? So who knows if you don't have an account that has a birthday on it, if your account will still be operational, okay? So it's a lot of accounts that's going to be suspended that's out there that doesn't have any verification or any type of way to know whether or not that person is truly that age, okay? And that's pretty much what they're looking to do anyways. They're looking to scrub the internet, but have a reasonable reason on why they're scrubbing the internet, okay? So a lot of accounts, and we already know who they're targeting after, okay? They're targeting after this truth, okay? They're just looking for any way that they can get as much of this information off the internet as possible by the way of what? Using slide of the tongue, man, by their what? Legislations, okay, which is what? These stringent laws that they're placing into effect. Now, this is in Florida specifically, but this could be probably adopted for other states as well, man, until it's made into a law nationwide. So it says social media platforms will be required to terminate any account suspected of belonging to someone under 14. Belonging. Okay? So how are they going to be able to tell whose account is who? They probably going to look at your history, see what you was watching, see what kind of content you may posted. And if it's to the liking of someone that's under 14, they're going to terminate that. Okay? So, brothers and you few sisters, if you don't have any way verification of your accounts and you got children and they think that your children has some type of access to this type of material, they can scrub your account without any notification, okay? But it says what? It says account owners will have 90 days to dispute, right? So you're going to have 90 days to dispute whether or not they were right in their findings to scrub that account or whether they were wrong, man, okay? And by that time, who knows what could happen in those 90 days, all right? It says account owners will have 90 days to dispute it. Anyone 14 or 15 years old whose account are targeted will have 90 days for a parent or guardian to provide consent, okay? Consent. So you can see, all right? And they've been targeting this word, this truth for the longest, man, okay? Because they ask you when you upload material, is this for adults or children, man, okay? Showing you that they don't want this truth getting out to the youth, man, all right? Because there's nothing that's, what's a proper way of putting it? There's nothing that this truth has that's degraded to any youth, man, okay? This is what you should be wanting your youth to be a part of, this truth, man. Okay? But if you put this up and you put content out, they'll take your videos down, man. All right? Showing you that they are targeting this truth, man. All right? And they're just using these stringent laws, these bills to what? Cover it up with. Okay? Under the guidelines of anybody that's 14 or 15 and younger, they will have their social media platforms scrubbed or taken down, and if they don't dispute it within 90 days, it'll be gone forever, man. All right, by having a consent of a parent telling them they can have it. All right, but as it say in the book, it says everything works for the better of them that fear the Lord, man. So everything is working out according to the will of the Heavenly Father. All right, it says the law adds Slakia. The law adds hefty fines and civil liabilities for any social media site that knowingly violate the law. However, the part of the law addressing social media has already been challenged on First Amendment grounds, okay? And this is their way of being subtle and attacking the First Amendment, your freedom of speech, okay? By what? Going around about by taking off certain content off these social media platforms, okay? Because they know for the most part, this is how the world operates and communicates by what? These via social media websites, okay? Which is why they're looking to ban TikTok here in America next year also as well, January the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. So it says, however, the part of the law addressing social media has already been challenged on First Amendment grounds. Attorney General Ashley Moody office announced last month that the state would not be enforcing it on major social media platforms until the court rules on a motion for preliminary injunction. A hearing will be held in late February. So you can see these bureaucrats, these fat cats, they're looking to take away, freedom of speech by the way of these social media platforms, okay? And one could argue that these social media platforms are owned by private entities where you don't have freedom of speech, where you have to come under the laws and regulations of whatever bill that is passed addressing that. Okay, so they're going to get around these social media uh, rules and regulations one way or another to take this word down off the internet and then eventually come and take it off the street. Okay, so it's just a matter of time. Now let's go into that word stringent and look up the word stringent.
Stringent.
It says of regulations, requirements, or conditions, strict, precise, and exacting. California's, and it gives you an example of the word stringent. California's air pollution guidelines are stringent, okay? Meaning that you have to abide by them. They are harsh, they are hard, they're strict, but in the long run, it's for the better of the what? The atmosphere, okay? This is how they're going to push this narrative. For the long run, it's better for the youth, okay? Not having their minds polluted by such, harmful material on the internet. But when they go out into the real world, they see way worse things like that, man. Okay? They see way worse more things like that just in their everyday walk of life, going to school, man. All right? How much more stuff are you going to monitor at the schools that they go to? All right? You're not. So we already understand exactly what the intended target is to get this word off the street, man, by any means necessary. And who's going to look at, act of such heroic to protect the youth from harmful content, okay? Because they're going to deem this harmful content, man. All right? And eventually take it down, okay? Because why? It's polluting the minds of the youth of 14 and 15 and younger, okay? That's the narrative they're going to push. It's hate. We speak, we teach hate. We teach everybody should not be in unison with one. That, it's all hateful. And this is where it's going at, okay? With these stringent laws that they're looking to pass as as laws, as house bills, okay? Of the what? Of the Senate, all right? So they're going to go one way or another about attacking your First Amendment, okay? And to the point where they just abolish it altogether, man, all right? Under some type of, law or, martial law or whatever. However they want to go about bringing forth, this chaos, they're going to use it, okay? And trust and believe they're going to take the word down, all right? Now let's go into one more article. It ain't going to be too long, and then we'll get a couple of precepts. You know what? And we'll just let it speak for itself right here. And this is the Google head page. When you type in TikTok ban January, it pops up and it reads, in April, President Joe Biden passed legislation that would ban TikTok on January 19th, 2025, if its Chinese parent company ByteDance does not sell it. So they're forcing this company to sell its business. I guess they want to take over TikTok and monitor the type of content that's being pushed out from that social media platform, because a lot of content and information they deem harmful to the and to the citizens of America, the United States of America. Okay, so they want to control the narrative by what? Controlling the outlets. Okay, it says if its Chinese parent company ByteDance does not sell it, the legislation has been in the works for several years, as government officials fear that TikTok may be sharing America data with the Chinese government. And that's malarkey, man, okay? Because they don't care about, the American citizens' safety being compromised, all right? If they did, they would do a better job in being more forthcoming with shit that's going on, man. All right? But they'll use the excuse that we're protecting you by not telling you, okay? We're protecting you by not telling you, all right? And the people, they'll buy it, man. So you can see they got sites all over the internet that's posting about TikTok being banned and taken out, from the citizens of the United States of America, all right? And this is all predicated or based on these stringent laws that they're looking to pass next year, January 2025. Now let's look at one more. Let's look at this one right here. This is another stringent law that they're looking to put place into effect starting May the 7th, 2025. The Transportation Security Administration, also known as TSA, will only accept real ID compliant digital IDs at domestic airport security checkpoints. So you see, they're getting you prepared for this more stringent way of life, man. Okay, because once this martial law is made mandatory or is made constitute, you're gonna have to get used to these stringent laws, man. All right, your freedoms are going to be stripped from you, man. All right, because they're ultimately preparing you for that chip. Okay, getting you prepared by taking away your rights one day at a time, man. All right, so they getting the people prepared for these stringent laws. Okay, they're getting the people minds prepared for getting your rights being stripped from up under you. Okay, and this is gonna cause a lot of civil unrest, man. All right, especially with older citizens of the United States of America that don't want to comply. All right. Here it is. They've been stuck in their ways for decades. Okay. Going to the airport, giving them their driving license or whatever, and going on about their business. Now they're going to have to recalibrate, go down to the DMV or whatever, and get this new digital ID to go fly and see their loved ones through the holidays. Okay. Beginning next year, May the 7th. What is the holiday after that? Probably 4th of July. Okay. So, hey, we're going to see exactly how things pan out, starting next year, the beginning of next year. Lord will, they just go to hell in a handbasket, okay? Because the people, they're not going to be so willing to comply to these stringent laws, man. All right? So let's go ahead and get a few precepts and let's take it from there. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, and we're gonna get straight to the point. Verses 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and evading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Right. So once they see the direction or path where this is heading, they're not going to regard these governors, these mayors, these, senates, even the president. They're not going to regard what the authority of the United States is telling them, okay? And this isn't only going to be an America thing, it's going to be a global thing. But it's going to hit more so harder here in America because America, the United States of America, has been pacified for so long that when they take the tit out of the mouth, the people are going to go bananas, man. Okay? It's going to hit them harder, man. These other countries have, been somewhat more reliant on their own independence, but America has been so dependent on the government that when the government takes the tit out the mouth, these Americans, they're gonna go haywire. Okay, they're gonna lose it, man. All right, they're gonna lose it, and the fact that they have the right to bear arms, and they're gonna try to take their arms as well. Well, it's gonna be, as they say, a good old time. Okay, all right. So, depending on what side of the equation you on, hey, you're gonna have a lot to think about in that time. All right. So let's go to let's get a couple more, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's go to Revelation 13 and 11 on speaking on the stringent laws that they're passing or looking to start to pass next year. And let's go there because they tell you it's for your own purpose. It's going to expedite things a lot faster. And, they're going to give you that line to run with, like as you would do a fish before that fish get hooked, okay? And you start what? Reeling them in, okay? They're going to give you so much line to run with it to keep you docile before what? Before they start reeling you in. And then that's when the fight begins, okay? That's when the sedition amongst men begin. That's when they're going to regard neither kings nor princes, man. When they actually find out what's really going on, okay? But by that time, it's going to be too late. The hook is already going to be set, and you're going to be coming closer to the shore, man, where you're going to have to what? Get down or lay down. By what? Receiving or taking that micro CHIP. All right? So this is Revelation 13 and 11, and it reads, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And this is speaking of America, okay? Because this Rome revived all over again. All right. You see a lot of the Roman ways being made implemented in this society today, specifically under the United States of America, man. The Senate is replicated of how Rome was back then. You know, you can see some of the Colosseums. You can see how back then in Rome, ancient Rome, that they would keep their citizens occupied by sporting venues and things of that magnitude. And you see it all over again here in America, man. Okay? Because America is looked at as that powerhouse, just like Rome was back then. Okay? So it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb. Right? Speaking of his democracy, okay? Republicans and Democrats, just like ancient Rome had two parties back then, okay? It says, and he spake as a dragon, right? And when you go into that word dragon, the Greek word dracon, you know, it's likened to draconian laws, man, these stringent rules, man, all right, which is going to cause people to, once they see exactly what's going on, to flip out, man. Like when you take that fish out of the water, it's flipping. It's not going easy, okay? When you take that fish up out of the water, it's flopping all over the place because why? It doesn't want to get caught because it knows its fate, okay? It knows its fate, all right? More than likely, it's not going to get thrown back into the water, all right? It's going to be put into a bucket and put on ice and reserved for later, man. Just like these people, once they figure out what's going on, it's going to be too late. They're going to already be on the land getting ready to be put on ice. They're going to be flipping and flopping, not trying to, man. And that's when all the sedition is going to come, okay? But they're going to give into it just like a fish, man. Just like when that fish is caught and it's brought on land, essentially it succumbs to its fate, man, okay? By one way or another, by stopping and flopping or getting hit over the head. You see? Just like the Americans, these citizens, they're going to come to their senses, or should I say not senses, but they're going to succumb to the fact that, hey, it is what it is, okay? Let's just go get the chip and let's get on about our business, man. The same way, okay? So it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, right? They tell you these lies. They give you the illusion that it's all for your better. It's all for your good. You know, it's for the youth, the 14 and 15 and younger, man. All right? That's just how it starts off, as a small, harmless, you know, you can almost say lie, but a misdirection truth. And then it comes into what you wanted, what they wanted from the beginning, okay? They just had to be subtle with it, all right? So be prepared, you know, 2025, you know, for a lot of more laws and bills to be passed that's going to be stringent. And when they come into effect, a lot of people are going to be cut off guard because why? They're not watching, okay? They're not being sober. So when they show up at the airport and they ask that you have the proper ID, they're going to be looking, you know, lost. Like, what are you talking about? And they're going to get turned around, and then you're going to see the news stations carry, and it ain't going to be by coincidence that the news stations are going to already be there to get the reactions of how the people are handling these new laws, okay? And pandemonium is going to soon pursue after that, man. All right? The people are already on edge, man, okay? All it's going to take is just a little bit to throw them over. And we coming into those times, all right? This is the book of Amos, because they eventually are coming after this word, all right? That's the intended target, is this word. Amos 8 and verse... Amos 8 and verse 11. It reads, behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. Right. So we come into that time, all right? We have to bring this up, you know, and remind the people that, hey, you're not going to always have the opportunity or leisure of receiving his word as you do as of now, okay? It's coming a time, and they're working on it, that they're going to take this word off the street and off the internet, okay? By some way, shape, or form, they're going to cause something that occurs where the servants of the Most High, the servants of Yahweh, aren't going to be out there on the streets like they are, okay? And on the internet, they're going to scrub the internet from this, they're going to scrub the internet of this truth, man, all right? They don't want no resistance. They want the people docile and dumb, like sheep, man, following their every rules. Okay, so in order for them to have that, they can't have any opposition. All right, and this word is an opposition towards their. This word is an opposition towards their rulership. Okay, they gotta get rid of this word, man, in order for them to actually get the people to acquiesce to their demands, okay? And they're going to shut down the internet. They're going to take the word, or they're going to make it a law where you can't preach this truth on the streets anymore. Or if you do, you're going to get hit with a fine and even face probably jail time. Revelation 2 and 10. Some of you should be cast into prison for 10 days. Be thou faithful until the end. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. All right. But yeah, we coming into some very, tumultuous times, man, where we have to be rooted and grounded in this truth, okay? Because at any moment, at any time, all hell could break loose, man. At any time. We in those days, okay? We are in that time, all right? Where we have to be on our watch, our guard 24/7, keeping the armor, Ephesians 6, keeping the whole armor of the Most High on, okay? Not just some, but all of it, all right? That's the times we in. That's the times we've been in, okay? But it's just being made more, manifest now, okay? It's just gonna get more and more, noticeable as we get closer to the end, man. For those of us that are watching, those that aren't, they don't know what's going on, okay? They're gonna just wake up and get hit with the wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and they ain't gonna know what to go on. They're gonna go to work, and their boss is going, hey, we got to get this chip in order for you to work. And they ain't going to be able to think on the spot. Do you want to get this chip or do you want to go home? And Jake ain't good with thinking on the fly, man. He going to think, I got to get rent paid. I got to get groceries. I got to pay for whatever. I got to take this chip, man. Jake ain't going to say, I ain't gonna take it. Let me come back and think about it the next day and get what your answer. What the company gonna say, either you take it now or don't come back the next day. They're gonna apply that pressure on Jake, man. You see? And Jake ain't gonna have no idea that this is the mark of the beast, man. All right, what time we in? It ain't gonna be no. You think about it the next day and come back and try to come up with a story why you don't want to take it. That's the way it's gonna be. But see, Jake ain't gonna be sober enough to know that, all right? Jake gonna be thinking, hey, I gotta pay, not knowing that this is the end, man. Okay? This is the end. Jake may be like, well, let me think about it and I get back with you tomorrow. No, if you don't think about it now, don't come back tomorrow. All right? See, you gotta be willing to walk away from everything, all right? You gotta be willing to walk away from everything for Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, okay? For Yahweh Shai's sake, man. You gotta be willing to lose it all, man. All right. That's the times we in. Okay. Understand it. Give us this day our daily bread. We are just thankful enough to be sustained for this day. We're not looking forward or too far ahead, man, because that's when you lose sight of, what's in front of you. When you try to look a year or two down the line, man, you can't see what's right in front of you. And by that time, they're going to have that chip standing out there waiting. Do you want to take it or not? And Jake going to be like, oh, yeah, I'll take it. See? So, hey, without the word, the truth, you ain't going to know what the hell to expect. All right? And that's what they coming for. They coming for this truth, man. All right? Even if they try to come in the form of, that subtleness of, we just doing this for the children's sake. Okay? So they passing that bill here in Florida next year, which is a couple of weeks away. All right. And we'll see if any other state wants to, draft that or copy that or implement it, okay? But eventually it's going to go nationwide, all right? So, that's where we at, all right? So let's just finish up and close out with First Peter 5 and 8. It reads, be sober, okay? You can't be sober if you're making decisions under duress, okay? That's how Esau Edom, the so-called white man, wants you. He wants you thinking illogically, okay? He wants you thinking on the spur of the moment. That's why he's going to spring this on you when you're least expected, okay? You don't make good decisions when you haven't been prepared for that, okay? When you on the fly and you thinking every day is the same as the day before, and you wake up and you find out that day isn't, you can't. Most people can't adjust to that, okay? And especially if you ain't been preparing for it and you don't know exactly what to look for. Why? Because you haven't been seeking Yahweh. You're gonna get taken by what? Surprise, okay? A lot of people are gonna be taken by surprise, not knowing, especially if their banking accounts get wiped out, or they can't have access to it. Oh man, that's another that's another issue for Jake, man. No access to their accounts. See, they've been so accustomed to banking uh this banking way that they don't know anything else. Okay? They have no other way of sustaining themselves outside of the system, man. If their bank accounts get compromised and they can't get a hold to their bank accounts to take out money, they gonna flip, man. Okay? And Esau Edom knows this, okay? He knows this. He's going to do something that the people won't be ready for, okay? Something that's going to take them by surprise, all right? To what? To the point where they can't think logically, okay? That they're going to make an impulse decision, which is going to be what? To get that chip, okay? To get that chip. A lot of our people, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, is going to make an impulsive decision that's going to cost you in the long run, all right? Getting that chip will cost you your salvation, all right? When those missiles come, you're going to be annihilated here in the United States of America, all right? Taking that chip and making that impulsive decision because you haven't been prepared and getting yourself ready for it is going to cost you in the long run. And Esau Edom knows that. And that's why we telling our people, be sober, okay? Get your mind right. Get yourself together. Know that at any point in time, it could be that day, okay? It could be that day, all right? Where they make that law and implement it and make it constituted, okay? It's going to be stringent. It's not meant to be lackadaisical where you can have a way out of it. No, you're going to have this in order to commence and do business and use the grid. It's not meant for you to have a loophole, okay? They're taking away all of that, all right? They're gradually walking you into it, and now they're getting ready to what? Speed it up, man, okay? Because they was talking about 2030, 2034, 20 whatever, just to throw you off so you won't be, prepared for when it happens right here in front of your face. They give you these dates and to throw them dates that seem far out, 5, 10, 15, 20 years out, so you don't think about right now, all right? But they got everything they already want, all right? They're just waiting for that perfect opportunity to spring it on the people. And a lot of people ain't going to be prepared, man. And a lot of people are going to make impulsive decisions, okay? So that impulsive decision is you being inebriated or intoxicated and not being sober, which is what we're reading here in 1 Peter 5 and 8. And it says, be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, devil just means deceiver, false accuser, and that's Esau Edom, the so-called white man, okay? Revelation 12 and 10, falsely accusing his brethren before the Most High. It says, as of a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, right? He's walking, doing his due diligently, all right? Preparing, crossing all his T's and dotting all his I's, man. For when he makes that move, he already know, and what more perfect time than around this time, the holidays, man. When people are at their all-time high at lowering their guard, because why? They're around their family members, okay? And they're doing any and everything they can to get to see their loved ones. Flying across, different types of states from the east to the west coast, you know, what more perfect time, you see, than to spring something, right unexpectedly on the people that ain't watching to what? Go into chaos, pandemonium, okay? So be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And trust and believe he's gonna get his fair share, all right? But he won't get the elect, and that's what all that matters, okay? So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.